Good evening, Dr. Suzela. I am Mohammed Ashraf Shakir, and today I'll be presenting about effective site management for construction projects, engineering principles, and practical applications. My first part of the presentation will be about defining site management. As you can see in literature, there are several different definitions of site management. However, they are not complete. So I've combined all the definitions that I found into one complete definition. So the combined definition of site management is a comprehensive procedure that involves planning, organizing, and controlling all activities on construction site. It includes evaluation and preparation of site condition, effective supervision of daily operations, and coordinated management of materials, manpower, machinery, and equipment. This process involved setting a performance criteria, improving communication and coordination, and ensuring that the construction team works efficiently and with high quality. Site management requires the collaboration of a professional team to oversee resources, control information flow, and uphold construction standards, forming the foundation stage of any building project. Now moving on to the next, which is the significance of site management in construction projects. The significance of site management in projects can be concluded by these points. Assessing a location's physical limitations, hazards, legal issues, and potential, and it identifies the environmental zoning and access issues that could jeopardize the project's timeline and profitability. Furthermore, it includes managing the project's budget, schedule, safety regulations, and also quality control, and ensure the stakeholder interactions, ensuring that the project is finished according to specifications and on time within budget. Furthermore, it also concerns of ensuring the quality and safety of works done on construction sites. Finally, efficient communication to keep all stakeholders in sync is the responsibility of site manager, as he acts as a liaison between the client, subcontractor, design, or in short, all the stakeholders. So to prevent delays, cost overruns, and disagreements resulting in monetary losses and harms, site management encourages cooperation among stakeholders by ensuring everyone's ownership and responsibility, and by bringing disparate goals into agreement. Moving on to the next point, which is the key principles of effective site management. There are 5 key principles to be followed to ensure effective site management according to Scrum. The first one is solid plan, where creating a plan which is flexible enough to adjust if the circumstances change while still communicating all the changes to the stakeholder. The next principle is efficient resource management, because it's not enough to have the appropriate tools and supplies on hand. It also requires to possess the correct personnel to use them efficiently and to have it all at the right moment. Furthermore, success-oriented scheduling is important because awareness of resources availability, potential restriction, and project relationships give the ability to predict and avoid delays before they even affect the timeline. Next, we have the risk management, using tools for construction project management, which are crucial for spotting and reducing possible risks in building projects. Proactive risk management is a key component of successful construction, as they use technologies to enable them to spot any problem early and act accordingly. Finally, the 5th key principle is the financial accountability, where putting financial tracking systems into place have proven that real-time budget visibility may change the course of a project, with teams making better judgments and decisions, keeping tighter control over project costs when they can understand exactly where they stand financially at a given time. Next, we have identifying challenges and best practices based on research literature. Starting with the challenges, based on our literature, we have found challenges that have been mentioned, starting with the characteristics of site management, which means the negative personal traits of the person who are responsible for site management. Moving on to the next point, which is the poor coordination between structural, architectural, mechanical, and electrical teams, which cause delay and rework. Furthermore, we have poor communication or miscommunication of technical instruction, unclear information, and delays in sharing data among stakeholders, which leads to project delays, cost overruns, and quality issues. Moving on to the next, which is poor documentation, where discrepancies in drawings, incomplete filing systems, and missing critical documents like inspection and test procedure or ITP and method statements, which all causes delays. Poor resource management, such as unsuitable materials, insufficient supply, and poor waste management practices, have also caused delay in progress and compromised the building quality. Finally, we have poor environmental preparedness, where poor site conditions such as the lack of sediment traps, waste centers, lighting, and ventilation created unsafe and inefficient work environment. Now we are going to discuss the best practices which contradicts these challenges, also from literature. We start by the first one, which is leadership, where leaders must encourage collaboration at all levels and prioritize transparency, which can help resolve conflicts quickly. Moving on to the next point, better coordination to ensure that complex multidisciplinary procedures are completed without delays, as mentioned earlier. Good communication means clear, accurate, and timely instructions, which reduces misconception and the amount of free work resulting from poor communication. Next, we have good documentation, which is conclusive documentation about material delivery and site inspection, which facilitates audits and help resolve disputes. And next, we have attention to environmental compliance, which prevent legal penalties and protects worker safety. Finally, we have implementation of zoned layouts, which enhances workflow efficiency as it creates separate areas for offices, supplies, equipment, and residential areas. That's all from me. Thank you very much.
Hello, Doctor. It's turn to my part, which is the site organization and preparation. First and foremost, I would like to explain about the site organizational chart with roles and responsibility. As you can see at the diagram, we got like 21 position according to this project site at Bukit Makota, Kuala Lumpur. Furthermore, this is our framework for each rules and their responsibility. According to the hierarchy, the first one is the client. Client is the government client. Because our project is the government project. It used for fund project, assess objective, approve milestone. And second is the executive director. Is oversee the strategy, budget approval, ensure corporate governance. And the third is the contract director. He's handle all the contract matters, negotiation, dispute resolution. And next is the project manager campaigner. Is manage construction process, scheduling, site safety, complaint. And the next is the contract manager is oversee the project finance, payment claim and budget control. And next is the quantity surveyor is prepare cost estimate, tender and control the cost. And the last second is the project engineer is ensure the structural works, foundation, slab, roof to match the specification. And the last is the land surveyor is help to accurate the size setting out, which is the grid and boundaries. Apart from that, I would like to continue about our organization framework. The first is the environmental management consultant. It is help to advise on silt, waste, water, and noise control. Next is the QA/QC engineer is conduct inspection, ensure the workmanship standard and material quality. And the next is the site engineer is help to supervise the subcontractor daily site inspection. And next is the MSE engineer is coordinate the mechanic, electrical, and structural service. And the next is the safety and health officer, which is the SHO, is help to monitor the daily site safety and conduct the safety talks. And the next is the CS supervisor, is help to ensure the structure work comply with design standard. And the last second is the environmental officer, is maintain the environmental protection on site. And last but not least is the architecture supervisor, is his ensure the finishers meet architecture, design and quality. Beside this, I would like to identifying and explaining the site preparation step in logistic, material handling, and safety planning. The first, site cleaning and the overall. It need to cleaning about the vegetation, remove the unsuitable soil, and site control measures. And next, surveying and setting out. It helps to accurate the position of the block and structures. And next is the temporary access loop. It is for the efficient material movement and site access. And the last is the material handling. It helps to control the delivery, storage, relocation to avoid the damage and congestions. And the last but not least is about the safety planning. So we need to appoint of the site safety supervisor, which is the triple S, and the JKKP registration, site fencing, warning signage, PPE allocation, which is need to give the mask, safety boots, and safety vests to the workers, and safety and environment training to the worker and the site engineer. And the last is the emergency response plan based on the CIDP and social status. And last but not least, this is the last subtopic at the topic second topic, which is the legal and regulatory considerations. The first is the insurance policy. So we need to use about the contractor or risk, which is the CAR insurance inside this project. And we need to use about the workman compensation, which is the WC policy. And second, we need to consider about the environmental component, which is need to follow the Environmental Quality Act 1974. And we need to consider about the erosion, water and runoff, and noise mitigations. And the second last is the labor rules complaint, which is we need to use about the local concise bureaus for voice, noise, and working condition. And we need to permit for the foreign worker and worker right complaint. Last, the overall outcome for these legal and regulations for our project is to full legal and regulatory compliance to ensure the smooth progress and minimize the risk for our project.
Good day everyone. Today we will delve into a construction site layout planning for SMK Bukit Makata project. So we have developed a comprehensive plan to ensure the efficient and safe construction of the site operation. A site layout planning is a critical component of construction management. It involves the strategic arrangement of temporary facilities, equipment, and access road to optimize workflow. This enhance safety and minimize costs. So for the SMK Bukit Makata project, valued at 53.2 million, we utilize CAD softwares. We have meticulously planned the site to support the project objective. So now have a look at the general site plan. So here we present the general site plan for SMK Bukit Makota. The layout includes academic blocks, a workshop, a hall, a surau, a guardhouse, and a pump house. So each facility is strategically positioned to facilitate construction activities while ensuring safety and accessibility. So the plan also consider existing infrastructure and topographical features to optimize the space utilization. And now move on to logistic plan of the site. So efficient logistics are vital for smooth construction operations. Our logistic plan identify key zones. The material storage area is near the entrance for easy delivery. The guardhouse is positioned for optimal site security. Contractor and consultant office are centralized, located for effective communication between both parties. The wash-through assembly area are designated for workers' hygiene and gathering, and the emergency kit located is easily accessible in cases of incidents. Clear signage and designated pathways ensure organized movement through the site. So let's look into the justification of facility placement. So each facility's placement is deliberately arranged. Material storage near the entrance reduce the transportation time. Office and the first aid stations at the front corner provide quick access for staff and emergency services. Cranes are centrally located for optimal reach. Pedestrian walkway are isolated and clearly marked to prevent accidents. Welfare units are situated downwind in clean zones to maintain hygiene. And the emergency assembly point is positioned away from the hazardous area to ensure safety during the evacuation. Okay, now let's move on to the waste management and safety zones. So effective waste management is crucial for maintaining a safe, clean construction site. So we have designated an area at the rear of the site to prevent obstruction and contamination. So safety zones are clearly marked with fencing and signage around the high risk area. Vehicle and pedestrians traffic are separated to minimize accidents, and regular safety audits are planned to ensure compliance with the safety standards. So now let's move on to optimizing for efficiency and safety. So to optimize efficiency and safety, we have integrated engineering and safety consideration into the site layout. So short travel distance between facility reduce time and energy expenditure. Logical sequencing of construction activity prevent workflow disruption. PPE, personal protective equipment zones are established and clear evacuation routes are mapped out. So machineries is placed on stable ground to prevent accidents, and proper drainage system are implemented to manage the water flow and prevent flooding and erosions. So, in conclusion, our strategic site layout planning for SMK Bukit Marketer projects aim to facilitate smooth logistics, uphold high safety standard, and ensure efficient workflow. By meticulously planning each aspect of the site, we lay a solid foundation for successful completion of the construction project. So, thank you for your attention. That's all from us.